happens right here.
Sante, cheers to your health.
Sante!
Look at us down it.
Hi, welcome to the Sante Cottage Kitchen. Thanks for joining us at home and for signing up for the free trial and a little taste, a little dash, a little spritz of what's to come for our Herbal Bartender course. We will be running a Kickstarter campaign to help to crowdfund this project. So if you like what you see here and you're interested in next level cocktails with a healthy edge, learning a bit about herbalism and tiny bit about foraging too, then please you support us, and it'd be great to join us and be part of this. So today in our kitchen we are so happy and privileged to have our friends Emily, Carrie, and they're going to be working along with me and with you at home as we make, what are we making today? And actually, who are you? This is the Herbal Bartender. This is Laura.
I'm Laura.
I'm Brent. And what are we doing today?
We are going to be making a cherry balsamic vinegar shrub. And so a shrub is a very old-time colonial style drink mix. And this type of preservation method came out of a period where there wasn't refrigeration, and it was very hard to preserve food. And so what people would do is they would mix the fresh fruit of the season. Often they would even, it was the fruit that was maybe even a little bruised, or the stuff was really, really ripe and juicy.
Right.
And so you would mix that with sugar, which is a great preservative, also brings that sweetness, and vinegar. And so vinegar, it sounds very strange to want to drink something, because this is something we're actually going to put in a cocktail and drink, like mix, and it tastes delicious, tastes really fruity. And so the vinegar adds acidity to the drink, and in drinks, what happens with the acidity, so the acidity cuts the sweetness of the sugar, and so instead of fruit and sugar together, just kind of tastes like jam. And so by adding the vinegar into the drink, what it does is it cuts the sweetness, brings out the acidity, and you actually kind of get more of that true fruit flavor. And so it's really simple, very simple to make, very simple ingredients. So kind of 3 ingredients: fruit, sugar, vinegar. And what's great, once you understand the basics of how to make a shrub, you can substitute any fruit that you want, you can substitute any vinegar, and so the actual flavor combinations that you can come up with on your own are totally endless. So they're really, really fun.
Awesome. So everyone at home has their ingredient list and their tool list.
Yep.
And so we'll go through a bit of the ingredients right now and show everyone what we're using to make this awesome cherry shrub. So what do we got today?
Yeah, so we're going to do a cherry shrub. So we've got some, what I've recommended for everybody to use is frozen berries that have been thawed. And this is one of my secrets that I'm giving away, my trade secrets.
Secret tip. And you're going to have lots of these coming at you, so get ready.
One tip I'll just say, I like to let the fruit totally thaw too, because then when you do your measurements, you have a more accurate measurement. Because if you have the frozen fruit, you can think there's like all the airspace in there. So I like to pull out the fruit, make sure I let it thaw before I start. If I haven't, because sometimes I just want to make something to drink in 10 minutes, I'll just melt it in my pot, kind of fast thaw it, and then do my measurement just to make sure. Because we've got, so we're using, say, 1 part fruit, and then we're using sugar.
What kind of sugar are we using today?
Well, you can use any type of sugar that you want. The only one I found that doesn't work very well is brown sugar. The molasses in brown sugar can really throw off the flavors. But for this recipe, a nice organic cane sugar works totally fine.
Great, and that's in a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yep, 1-to-1 ratio.
To sugar, our raw sugar.
Yep.
So what's the first step? So we're looking at, we need some heat. This is a heat process. This shrub, we're cooking it.
Yes.
Are all shrubs made and processed in that way, or?
No, you can do shrubs cold process or hot process. Hot process is faster.
Okay.
So if I want something that I can consume the same day, I'm going to do a hot process shrub. If I'm going to do a cold process shrub, which the handout's that we do in the full Sante course really describes how the full process for doing cold versus hot process shrub making. But a cold process shrub is more time consuming, whereas if we use heat is going to speed it up for us. So we're choosing, we want to have nice cocktails tonight with our friends, so we're going to make a little hot process shrub.
Yeah, we so what's the first step here? Let's get busy and let's get doing this.
So we're just going to put our equal parts.
Okay. Do we turn on some heat?
Yep, turn the hot
Let's bring the heat to the heating. We're using a heating element. You can use obviously stove, oven, fire, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Right? Heat source.
Cook it on the fire and camping.
Fire would be perfect.
If you wildcrafted some cherries by the lake
absolutely.
and then, had some sugar with
some
you camping.
blueberries.
Yeah. Oh my god, wild blueberry shrub would be amazing.
So we got it on. We're gonna max it out here, or what? Where are we gonna go?
You can put it pretty high, at least to get hot. But basically, on your stove, I'd say like medium heat, because we don't want to. Basically all we need to do is dissolve the sugar, but we don't need to really. You don't want to bring this to a boil and especially when you see steam rising, because that means we're losing the liquid. Right. And so we want to make sure that we keep the liquid that we've gotten out of the fruit.
Okay.
So we can just dump our.
So fruit in first, cherries going first, all of it.
Kind of doesn't matter which one you do first.
Dump them in.
Okay, give it a good stir there, Brent.
Awesome. Okay, stir it up, and then we're gonna. Let's get hot.
Yep, let it get good and hot, and then basically we just need to keep this nice and hot. And I'll keep it moving a little bit. You don't have to be obsessive about it. And just until the sugar dissolves. Yeah.
Cool. So this only takes about 2 to 3, 4 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, if it's good and warm, it should happen pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so we'll explain. So the next step basically, once we have this cooked, we're going to be taking it off and then just straining out the fruit. And then what we end up basically having is that really lovely juice dissolves with the sugar, and we end up with that nice, super concentrated fruit syrup. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add equal parts vinegar to the amount of fruit solids that we have.
The next step, though, is where it gets a little more. It's a sour step.
Adding the vinegar.
We're adding some vinegar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and for shrubs, we can talk about the vinegar now. It's a great time while we're sitting waiting for this to warm.
Today we're using a balsamic vinegar. We're talking about that. So balsamic vinegar originates originally from Modena, Italy. Dates back to the Middle Ages, right back to the year 1046.
Whoa!
Yeah, and it was used. It's made from cooking down white Trebbiano grapes, and it's been a condiment since then. So, and it looks red. So I mean.
White grapes?
White grapes.
White
only.
I would have thought red.
Yeah, exactly, because it's got a red finish, right?
Cool.
But anyway, it's got a fantastic taste, and it's not a wine vinegar because it's not fermented, and that's the one we're using, an unfermented grape vinegar.
Red vinegar. On that though, red wine or white wine vinegars work really lovely in shrubs. So you can use balsamic. Is a very strong flavored vinegar. So if I use balsamic, I tend to use it with fruit that have some real body and substance. Cherry has a lot of body and substance, so it can stand up to. Stand up to balsamic.
Absolutely.
White wine, red wine vinegars are also really lovely. I make a lot of my shrubs out of apple cider vinegar.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Although if you want to kick it up a bit on the health side of things, ACV is your go-to.
Yeah, right? and I've even through my business, and because I'm an herbalist, I like to infuse herbs into everything.
You sure do. You sure do.
I do. I will sometimes even make an herb-infused vinegar.
Oh, cool.
And then use that in my shrubs. So like
nice.
I make like a spruce tip infused apple cider vinegar, and then I'll use that in the shrubs. So that can be a really simple way to incorporate like wild flavors into your stuff.
And those are things. These are things that in the course we're going to touch on, and we're going to teach people how to do those infusions, extractions. So good things to come.
Okay, all right, ladies. Is the sugar dissolved?
Looks great.
Great. Okay, so we can turn this off. And so we've each got. So get your measuring glass that you have, and your little colander, your little sieve.
I'll hold this if you want.
Okay, do you want to hold this there, Brent?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then, yep, and we're just gonna pour over.
And I mean, today we're doing this in teams, but I mean, really, if you're at home in the kitchen by yourself or at a bar, you could be doing this
Oh yeah.
by yourself. This
I
is a
do this at
one-person
home.
job.
I do this at home by
This is a
myself.
one-person job. It's just fun to do with more people. We have 4. Do 10. Try it out.
Is it okay if I squish?
You can squish. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
want to squish because we want to get a lot of that juice out.
So what
But
you're
we're
left
not
here?
quite done with the fruit yet.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you want to do with the fruit now?
So let's throw the fruit back in this pot.
Okay. Heat's off.
Heat's off,
Okay.
so it doesn't even need to be. You can just put it on a little trivet off to the side and put our fruit back in the pot. Because what we're gonna do, so let's take a look. So let's see, how much liquid did we actually get there?
So we started with 1 cup of fruit, 1 cup of sugar.
We got about
Boom.
a half cup of syrup.
Okay.
Right
It's about
there.
roughly the same, eh? Yeah.
Oh, there. Half a cup. Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So basically, so now we're gonna put a half cup of vinegar into our shrub. So you
Okay.
could, if you most recipes that I found, they just say add your vinegar to your.
Right to the
Right to there.
liquid.
But I look at this fruit and I'm like, there's so much goodness.
Look at this fruit.
There's like lots of sugar and still
Ah.
goodness there. So what I do, another one of my tips, my like pro tips, is what I'll do is I'll measure my half cup of vinegar
Mhm.
and then put it on this fruit and basically kind of like think of I want to wash the fruit, so I'm going to get more flavor out of those cherries before I give up that vinegar into there.
Cool. So we do that now?
Yep.
So half cup of the vinegar.
Oh, that balsamic is so nice and dark. This is going to be a really dark colored shrub when we're done. So the cocktail that it's going to be a really nice dark colored concentrate. It's going to make really nice dark, rich flavored cocktails.
There.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is kind of, we're washing the fruit.
Yeah.
And it's like a compote, which is left over, right? We got this like really chunky, awesome compote. And just let it sit for a bit. How
Yeah.
long?
I mean, if I'm doing this at home and I have time, I'll let this sit for half an hour. It kind of doesn't.
Right.
There's no hard and fast rules with these kind of old world techniques. Oh man, I can, especially adding it to that warm fruit,
Yeah, it smells really great.
you can really taste it. But even just stirring it here for just
It
a
almost
minute,
tastes the cocktail.
almost taste the cocktail.
Right.
But I'm just gonna stir this for 30 seconds, a minute here, not
Okay.
too long.
Clean up a little bit and
Yeah, and so we'll use that. Basically, we're gonna be pouring
this through
this through this
Awesome.
again.
Okay, so now we're done.
Yep, we don't need to get rid of that yet.
Cool.
Oh, that color's beautiful.
Oh, it's
Yeah, that's
so
good.
dark. Okay. So, again, I can even feel it because the cherries were still warm. And when I first put this in, and you might feel this at home, like you could feel some kind of the like hard sugar on the bottom of the pot. And I can even feel that the acid in the vinegar is kind of like dissolved that sugar. And especially because the fruit's warm, any of that residual cherry kind of syrup that was stuck to the fruit is definitely dissolved into our vinegar now.
Okay, so we're gonna strain this through a strainer back into the syrup.
And then on this round, we're really going to want to get a good squish. We're really going to want to get all of those juices out of those
So
cherries.
back of the spoon, give it,
Yeah.
just give her.
Give her.
Right on.
Sometimes, again, if I'm at home and I've got time, I'll just even let it drip. I'll put it on and then let it drip for half an hour.
So we've got this awesome compote. What do we do? What do you do? What do you suggest you can do? There's a lot of things you can do obviously with
Yeah.
the fruit, right? Left over. You want to use here, we use everything.
It's interesting. Here, try some. And you should try some at home.
I want to try one.
I'm just going to try my fingers.
Wanna try one? Sure.
So it's the cherry, but
Dang.
it's been washed in the vinegar.
Delicious.
So,
That's really good.
Yeah.
like in chutneys, I'll even I kind of like that sweet and sour flavor, so I'll
Chutneys are
like
great.
on vanilla ice cream or something. Like I like,
dessert would be
on desserts.
Yeah.
But you kind of, it has that sourness to it. So it is make it a little unique.
It's great.
But yeah, there's all, like I've used the leftover fruit for making shrubs for like all different types of things. This definitely isn't just compost now. This is still really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Delicious.
So next step, hot. It's hot still.
It's hot.
Do we bottle it up hot? Is it?
Yeah, you can
straight
bottle
in
it
the
hot
ground?
if you've got a glass bottle.
Yep.
If you have a plastic bottle, which isn't my preference, but you can. If you had plastic, I wouldn't put it in. But
Yeah. Go glass.
yeah,
right?
we're gonna.
You got it. Let's go glass.
The ladies here have a glass bottle that they can store in the fridge, but I'm just gonna put mine in this little half-liter wine thing for tonight because I don't think our batch is gonna make it through the night. So I
No.
don't think we're gonna have to preserve this long
It's
term.
definitely not. Quick batch.
Yep.
Yep.
But this is our finished shrub here.
This is
It's
the shrub.
such a beautiful dark kind of like
Awesome.
burgundy color.
Does it have to be capped, or does air affect it at all at this point? Like air getting in? No. It's cool because we're going to be using it. Not.
We're gonna be using this tonight.
And tonight, actually, we're making a cherry shrub and soda with a little nod to the colonial times with a
Bourbon.
bit of bourbon. So, little tip of the cap to the
Yeah.
Colonel, and yeah, it should be good.
It's
So
gonna be good.
for storage, how long is this? What's the shelf life on something like this?
Yeah, so different to like simple syrups, and that's another thing we make in the Sante Herbal Bartender course is infused simple syrups are awesome, but they tend to only have a shelf life of about 2 to 6 weeks. But what I love about shrubs, and again going back, this comes out of a time period where people were preserving fruit for use for the year, and so shrubs. Generally, we say for food safe, just because I don't know how people's bottles have been cleaned and stuff, we say to keep them in the fridge. When I make them for my business, they don't even have to be refrigerated because the vinegar, the acid in the vinegar, preserves the fruit.
Right.
So these will keep in your fridge for at least 6 months. I've had shrubs in my fridge that still taste great like a year later. So they last for a long time, and they actually, I even find shrubs, their flavors mellow out and really combine well. Even after a few weeks, they almost even seem to taste a little better. So we're just gonna we're done this section, and we're gonna just let our shrub cool down. So maybe we'll just stick it in some ice and
Yeah,
leave that in the
do that.
fridge.
Sure.
And when we come back, we're gonna make our delicious shrub soda and bourbon cocktail.
Awesome. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Emily. Thanks for
you.
everybody at home for following along. And yeah, I hope you had fun. Learned obviously how to make an awesome shrub. And next up is an awesome cocktail. So, you know what? We're excited. Thanks so much. Cheers.